Hey everybody, another video with John with Just Sports with John, and I'm going to be talking about Alex Smith and where he might end up playing if he does have a second chance in the NFL. This question came from me from Austin Kiddu. Thanks for the question, Austin, and I'll try to address it best I can here. So, Alex Smith, this to me, this is one of the most interesting things in NFL right now, and it's starting to get a lot more attention because he is coming up on something here. But when we when we look at it, okay, so he's with the Washington Redskins, and when he came to the Washington Redskins, he basically signed a 5-year contract. Now he is in year 3 of this contract. Now I found it interesting. A lot of people thought that the Redskins might draft a quarterback at some point in this last draft, and they did not. At least not anyone significant. And they did bring in Ron Rivera, and they did bring in Kyle Allen, who was the backup quarterback with the Panthers. So really, and people are like, Kyle Allen's going to take over, blah, blah, blah. Well, no, he's not. I mean, not unless Haskins just falls flat on his face and they're already out of playoffs, and yeah. But Kyle Allen only has 1 year left on his deal, and so I pretty much think what they're doing is they brought Kyle Allen in to help teach the system, and they're going to try to roll with Haskins and prop him up, see what he's got. The interesting thing here is Alex Smith is 36, coming back from a gruesome leg injury, one of the worst that you can have, and there's a lot of video out there showing him, maybe not so much moving around, but definitely throwing, getting his stability, getting his throwing stance back. He's looking really good. But here's the thing. So he had a 5-year contract, and he's getting paid. The cap hit, I should say, for the team is $21.4 million. Now after this year, and if they were to try to cut him this year, they would basically owe him like $32.2 million. There's no way in hell they're going to do that, which is why they didn't draft another quarterback. He's still on the roster, but after this year's contract, he's only, if they were to cut him, they would only owe him 10.8. They'd have 10.8 million against the cap. That's still a lot of money, but it's a doable amount of money. You start talking 12 million under, teams are kind of willing to do that, especially if somebody's aging and injured. So it's very possible that they could move on from him this year, after this year. Now the question is he going to play this year? And if he does play this year, I'm kind of wondering if he's going to play in preseason. And if he plays in preseason, I think there's a good chance that Alex Smith could end up being the quarterback for the Redskins, depending on how Dwayne Haskins does. Because if you're the Redskins and you've got Haskins, you've got Kyle Allen, and you've got Alex Smith. So what you're going to do is you're going to see what Haskins can give you. You're going to just let Alex Smith keep healing up. Kyle Allen's there to teach the system or whatever. Be an immediate backup in case Haskins gets hurt the first couple weeks, months, whatever the time frame is for Alex Smith. I don't know to full extent, but I've heard he's pretty much ready to play from what I've read. So, and I think what happens is, like, if Haskins falls on his face, maybe you let Kyle Allen take over for a while, and you start to phase in Alex Smith maybe towards the end of the year. And again, all this is predicated on Haskins not doing well. But then you see what Alex Smith has got, because you're going to have this potential dead money that you can deal with, and then he could move on at age 37 and try to make his comeback for another team. Now, if Haskins does well enough and Redskins roll with him, then I do see them cutting Alex Smith, and I still see Alex Smith wanting to play. Now, this is where I think the Patriots come in, because they didn't draft a quarterback either, and I'm still kind of up in the air as if they're even going to stick with Stidham. I mean, Flacco's still technically out there. What's his face? Cam Newton, but they're not going to go with Cam Newton. And there's one other guy out there, and I can't think of who. But anyway, another team that I could see. I'm not sure they would bring in Alex Smith necessarily or trade for him or anything, but The Steelers is another team that you'd have to kind of maybe think about. The Saints would be another team if Drew Brees retires. Um, I'm not sure beyond that off the top of my head. I mean, I kind of doubt the Raiders would, but they potentially could after this year. Um, there's probably some other teams there, but those are the most immediate ones that I could think of that would be potentially looking at him. So I do think he's going to get a shot. I think it's more likely going to be with the Redskins. I think that's why they didn't draft a quarterback. They want to wait and see how all this pans out with the ones they have on the roster. Now, like I said, after that, it kind of depends. It kind of depends on who retires and who might be going into the next season hurt and all that. But I'd more than likely say it's with the Redskins. Beyond that, it might be the Patriots, the Saints. It could even be the Packers, depending on what might happen with Aaron Rodgers. I don't think they would trade Rodgers, but if this thing really goes south and then they have to trade Rodgers and Jordan Love is that next man up, well, you at least need a backup, and that could be Alex Smith. Um, um, yeah, I'm not sure. Seattle Seahawks need a backup as well too to Russell Wilson. Um, so I don't know. It'll be interesting. Jared Goff with the Rams looks like he's kind of treading on thin ice a little bit there. So yeah, it would be interesting to see. But that's my take on it, and hope you liked the video, and hit subscribe please, and then like the videos and share them as you want. See you later. Bye.